What is up? Coming out here. It is Round of Shots on this Sunday night, January 1st, 2023. Hope everyone out there in BB land or just any land you're on has had a great holiday holiday time with family, friends. It is the new year. We're in, 2023. Three, man, a lot of stuff's going on. A lot of stuff. Hope everyone is doing well. Round of Shots is streaming live as I get my notes and stuff. I really need a producer, someone on the back end to take shoot for me. Streaming live on Twitter and YouTube. Doing it, as I said before, I still think this is the only BBN show that's streaming live on a Sunday night. Gathering a BBN together to try to make peace, try to bring us to some common ground, try to walk people off the ledges. And I do it as usual with my friends. These are kind of the core people who is going to they've been riding this wagon, what I call train with me, and they're going to keep on in 2023. First up, my man, he brings it with the whiteboard. Terry Brown's in the house. Terry, Cats Talk Wednesday. And he's in Iowa. We'll get to that. How are you, sir?
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be here, man.
Always, my brother. Joining us also tonight, our man Corey Price, who's right here in Louisville, KY with me. Corey, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Good to see you. Happy New Year, my friend. Joining us also tonight, our man Arizona Terry Jordon with Basketball Buzz podcast, right?
That's it. Yeah,
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. We're getting some snow here in Flagstaff, so
For
about
real?
10 inches tonight. So yay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I live in the high country, man. It's like real winter here.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very cool. Batting cleanup tonight. Our girl, I was gonna say my girl, but it is our girl, our go-to, our number one, Carrie Lewis, and her news, Girls Beer Sports. Football is my favorite season.
Always.
Clarify that. College or pro?
Yes, college. 100% college.
Carrie, it's good to see you. Happy New Year, my friend. Hope everyone's doing well. Joining us on the chat and bringing your comments, conversations to the show. Hopefully someone will say something to trigger some of the bots who'd like to join us. I would like to see what bot is the first up for 2023. Michelle Morton's out there. And Niner Mike, happy New Year.
Is Niner Mike out there?
He's here. Look
Hey,
at this.
baby.
That's what he's saying.
Who's got it better than us, baby? That's what I'm saying.
Niner Mike said this show is going to be elite. And he's got elite in all caps. Just hidden message there. He and I are big wrestling fans, pro wrestling, not college wrestling. That's too boring. I mean, the more entertaining stuff. So, he and I will talk more about that later. Terry, let's get at it. We're trying to keep it at a hard stop at 10. Oh, look who's in the house too. Jay Hayes. Happy New Year, brother. Religiously Kentucky podcast. And just a quick side note, just a shout out to JD Hall. He's kind of taking some time away from the podcast thing. I just want to wish him the best, and brother, get back at it and holler if you need anything. We got topics tonight. We got Kentucky Louisville basketball. The game was yesterday. I don't know if it was a must win. I guess in some people's eyes it was a must win, not necessarily because it was Louisville, but because of how the basketball team's been playing. We'll talk about that. We will talk Kentucky, Iowa. Terry, I mean, this is an opportunity. I don't know what your wife's doing. If she wants to stick her head in, to gloat or,
All I'm asking is that
black
they
and
never
yellow.
ever play again. They go 100 years not playing. We get married and 2 times in 1 calendar year. Not great. But
maybe you all started the fire. Billy.
That's what my mom
Billisong?
said. My mom said it was the Kate and Terry Bowl. But are we starting with the football game? We can start with that.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's start with Kentucky Iowa football, the Music City Bowl. This was a game, guys, that our impact players, our elite players, if you will, Will Levis, Chris Rodriguez, were sitting out. We did have some players missing as far as injuries go. Carrie, I'll start with you because you are the voice of reason on this show. You do a good job and always leading the charge. But Terry, Kentucky, Iowa, taking the personal families side out of.
I don't
What
know
was
how
your
much you
take
can
on
read
this
into this bowl game. It was one of those situations, both teams missing a lot of folks on both sides. It just so happened that Iowa's defense wasn't missing a lot of people, and it was a top 10 defense all year. So we kind of knew it was going to be a rock fight, and it turned into a rock fight. To be honest, Iowa's offense did not convert a third down. Which
game had ugly in so many levels.
But I've tweeted this before. I've said it before on here. Iowa football historically, whatever combination of ridiculous offense, not converting a third down, not getting an offensive touchdown, these are the games Iowa wins because they play great defense and their punter is ridiculously talented. So this was a game that was right up Iowa's alley. Some folks, I don't think you can just take a whole lot from what Kentucky did with the people that we were missing. The defense was stellar as it's been, 10 times, 11 times this year. But Iowa's defense was just enough to kind of shortchange a kid in his first collegiate start.
Yeah, he was making what was it, Wade? What's his first shit. I should know this, and I don't. Our quarterback's first name.
Destin Wade.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He has a brother, right?
Twins, yeah.
Is it Corey? Say it again.
Yes,
and his brother's name is?
I believe it's Keaton.
Yes, Keaton.
They're twins, yeah.
All right. Corey, you were there. What was the vibe? What was the vibe going into the game, especially with Leach and the whole crew in the press box? We knew we were, shorthanded, but what was their take or feel? And then go ahead. You're good.
Just a lot of unknowns, obviously, with Wade never even played, getting start, and obviously not having C-Rod and a couple other guys. Just didn't really know how it was going to turn out, and it was pretty hard to watch. Well, at least one half of the game, one half of the team was the defense, as always, brought it, holding them to 206 yards, and they went three and out. 8 of their, I think, 11 or 12 drives. So, I mean, the defense gave our team every chance to win, but unfortunately, Wade gave him two touchdowns as well. So,
he did. Yeah, he did. As Jay says, I just hope both teams have fun bowl. Yeah. Corey, I'm going to come back to you because I know you got some stats from the game. But Arizona Terry, what was your take with the football game?
Well, for full transparency, I had the UK Louisville game on the TV, watched the football on the iPad in between. I mean, basically after the second quarter, there wasn't much. The game was decided in the second quarter. I think it's great that we got to play a bowl game, got to get some additional reps. Wade got some time at QB. He showed some little flashes, but we just couldn't generate anything on offense. And, it's a very ugly affair. Not fun, but it is what it is, man. Our key players didn't play, didn't have Levis, didn't have C-Rod. So there you have it. Season ends. We lost, 3 of the last 4. And we'll regroup, come back next year.
Carrie Lewis, in your news, what was your take?
Yeah, I watched the whole game. We watched the whole entire game. I mean, it was what it was. It was what it was going to be. We had no offensive coordinator. We had no starting quarterback. We had no starting running back. The running back that was behind the starting running back decided he didn't want to play at UK anymore, so we didn't have him either. We had the offensive line that we've had all year long. We had the defense, but I was disappointed that we at least didn't score 3 points. But I wasn't mad or upset or anything. We still finished with a winning record, 7-6. So I'll take that. And like Arizona Terry said, we're going to regroup. Cohen's coming in. Now, I actually did like the fact that Wade played the majority of the game because, yes, we have Leary coming in from NC State next season. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, I have a friend who is an NC State fan, and the kid is very injury prone. He's a good quarterback if he can stay healthy. So I actually like the fact that Wade got a lot of reps in this game and a lot of in-game experience because there's a high probability that we may need to see him next season take some reps. And so that's good. You get 15 extra practices, and I was like I said, I was disappointed. I'm not going to say I was okay with the performance, but it was what it was. I think if you paid any kind of attention, you knew what we were going into. And yeah, like Terry TV said, Iowa's defense is elite, man. They have award-winning people on their defense that played. Their punter is probably going to be taken, he's going to be first punter picked in the NFL. Absolutely, for sure. And actually, that quarterback that Iowa had, he wasn't just some guy they pulled off the street. He was actually a scout team quarterback who took reps with the scout team the whole entire time he's been at Iowa, right?
Yes.
He's just not some guy off the street. And they have some really good tight ends. They're tight end you. So, it was what it was.
It was what it was. But one thing that it definitely was, Terry, and hear me out, not to steal your thunder, Corey, but yesterday, Kentucky's offense, punt, 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 pick six, punt, punt, pick six, punt, 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 turnover on downs, punt, turnover on downs. As a fan, I think my only disappointment in the game, honestly, was, well, I'm probably not the only, that we were shut out. I didn't like that. I would have liked us to, like Carrie said, score something. But I get it where we were, what we were lacking offensively. It just wasn't a great showing. Yeah, the extra there are good. There was extra practices. It was a chance to continue developing, players. But again, it was you're on was it ABC? Was it
Yep.
ABC? Yeah. You're on a network. You're doing a network bowl game, and it just wasn't impressive. But talk me down.
I mean, the thing was, and I said this to some folks on Twitter and folks Facebook and other fans, Kentucky fans, I get it. A lot of them weren't excited about this game going into the game. My counter to that is Iowa wasn't that excited either. Iowa has played in Rose Bowls, in Orange Bowls. Right. They've had Heisman Trophy winners. They've got dudes like George Kittle lighting up all pro. So I get that we weren't jazzed up. Iowa really wasn't either. It was just one of those things we got a bowl game to go to. So there's a little counter to that. But this was going to be a game. It was like last year's game. You muck it up, but these are the games that Iowa's going to win. So I know you want to score points, but Iowa's defense is really, really good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They did give up 50 points to Ohio State, but because the offense was so bad, Ohio State barely cracked 300 yards in total offense.
No.
Because they were working with short. Iowa's defense is really, really good. So I know we want to. Yes, it would have been nice to score, but this was not just some run-of-the-mill defense like we've seen in bowl games previous.
Corey, dazzle me or not dazzle me with stats from yesterday. We know Iowa didn't complete a third down, correct?
Correct. They were 0 for 11.
And how many punts did we have total?
10 10 punts.
That was like a bowl record or world record.
Yeah.
What other stats kind of jumped out at you from yesterday, Corey?
Like you said, the defense, it's the second fewest yards we've ever given up in a bowl game. We only give up
I love the energy of the defense.
Yeah,
It was
206 yards. Only second time under Stoops that we punted the ball 10 times. So that wasn't very fun.
Oh, we have punted it. You said it was the second time.
Yeah.
So we hadn't done it before. Oh,
At Texas A&M in 2018, we punted 10 times.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Offensively, I think I believe the Bama game in 2020 was the last time we had less than 200 yards of offense.
When was the last time we got shut out?
October 19th, 2019 versus Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay says, how many times did Kentucky's offense get past the 50? Yeah. How many? How many times did your head look like tilt, Corey, in the presser? Not many.
I think we had 2 drives past the 50, and the furthest they got was the 36.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Terry, what else you got? Arizona, Terry.
Well, I just think, we had won 4 bowl games in a row, which was a record.
Mm-hmm.
So losing it kind of sucks because our nice streak ended. So
Agree.
Beyond that, I have nothing else to give, man.
Now, I think, we might be just beating a dead horse there. But, Carrie, anything to add real quick?
No, I'm looking forward to next season already. I'm going to have to go to rehab to try and control my withdrawals from not having any football on Saturdays, because this is the last Saturday that college football is going to be on my television. But I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Now, Terry Brown, swinging back to you, this will be our last little run through the football with the football game. This was I'm just looking at tweets from former players, and I shared this with you last night, and I just wanted to throw it out. Mike Edwards, former player on the was he on that 10-win season?
Yes.
Penn State, right? With the draft picks we had, we really had nobody sit out for the bowl game. And when I shared that with you, Terry, you were right away like, basically, this is apples and oranges.
With NIL and the way the world looks, I mean, I know he just left a few years ago, but your old man yelled at a cloud at this point. Things are different. I mean, things change. So that's the way it was. I mean, I get what he's trying to say. Nick Saban tried to say the same thing about hey, guys got to make business decisions. It's a business, and we're finally admitting that the players are part of the business. So I got no problem with it, but that's me.
Didn't kind of Saban, though, in his take, kind of make the point that when it comes to sitting out, he's Bryce Young and was it Will Anderson? Those guys are going to be high picks, and they played. Again, I think we are talking apples and oranges because Alabama is playing what was it? What do you call those? The what bowl games that they're playing? It's the
New Year's Six.
New Year's Six. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Terry.
Did he coach when he left Michigan State to go to LSU?
That's a great question.
Coaches do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember when John L. Smith basically quit on Louisville in the middle of the
middle of the wasn't it? Yeah. Middle of the
leave all the time. Like,
weren't they playing the team that were they playing Michigan State that game?
I don't know if they were playing Michigan State. I know the news broke like during the game, the players talking. Coaches do this all the time.
I agree.
So, if a kid wants to play, great. They don't want to play, great. But Corey, that's just me.
Yeah, no. Anything to add about that as far as players sitting? I'm with Leach, and not to, you don't have to quote them or anything, but you got a former player in there too, sitting in. And to Terry's point, everything. This is a different day and age when it comes to the college game. But what was that vibe or feel when it comes to players sitting or opting out?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, Mike's Bowl, it was different. I mean, we're playing for 10 wins. We're playing on New Year's. It was a bigger bowl game. I mean,
right.
We've been to this bowl, I don't know, like 6 times now, I believe. We were playing the team we played last year. I mean, this wasn't on New Year's. There were several reasons why this game, I mean, whether you like it or not, just wasn't as important as the one that Mike was playing in. I mean, plain simple. So I have zero problem with guys not
two
playing.
Different types of games. Yeah, exactly.
And the field was terrible.
Yes.
I can't believe they played
really
a
bad.
NFL game on Thursday and then the bowl game on
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
bad.
It was chewed up, like just.
Yeah.
chewed
You're right.
up.
Now you say that. That's
And
right.
it was rainy, right, Corey?
Rained a little bit before the game, but that was it. We got pretty lucky there.
Yeah, but the field just looked terrible just on TV. And I was like, I wouldn't have played in that either. It looked bad.
Arizona Terry, your take on the players on players just opting out?
I have no problem with it. Like TD was talking about, NIL is involved with this day and age, and some of these players have a lot to play for, future NFL careers and things. And like Levis, for example, I don't blame him one bit.
All right. Kentucky defense elite next year, man. We have a very promising year coming up, and in Stoops, I still trust. I'll say it, and hopefully he keeps the coaching staff, specifically, obviously Cohen. Hopefully that gets officially announced. I hope Brad White stays, big dog, all of them, and he gets the right people in also to replace those that we've lost. I was going to say, do we want to? No, we'll save that for another show. We can no more Iowa games. Yeah, no more Iowa games. We've run our course. Okay, let's switch to the Louisville game. It was, Terry, in some aspects, from when it comes to BBN, it was a must win, not because it was Louisville, but because of the way that the team had been playing. And it got to the point where it was really ugly with BBN this past week leading into, and it was based on just the way they had been performing. So first let's summarize the game. What was your take on
game?
Yeah, the game itself.
I mean, we beat Louisville. I mean, that's kind of usually what happens.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's usually what happens when the men's basketball teams play. Like, does Alabama?
Did we respond appropriately?
Yeah, but my thing is, like, does Alabama football, do they get really excited for beating Auburn? No, because they're kind of used to beating on little brother.
Right.
I mean, that's just kind of how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
We've beat them when they've had great team, like all around the world, the same song, to quote Digital Underground. It was a laugher.
That is a great song.
It was Arizona Terry and I, one of the DMs. I talk about, I have nervous energy when I'm watching Kentucky play. And so I'm cleaning, I'm doing whatever, because my whole thing is I don't want to pay attention to the second half. Build up a big enough lead where I can kind of glance over and see what's going on. And that's what happened. There was no nervous energy. I was like, the Cats will win.
Mm-hmm. You want to be able to change the laundry,
I'm like,
the second half.
The game,
exactly. Yeah.
And I spent more time looking at the football game, but beating Louisville will never get old to me.
Oh, agreed.
No matter where I move, no matter what, beating Louisville, great. So for that, great.
Corey, this is interesting because the Louisville game is huge for us. within the state, just BBN in general. But you were there, and how did you get to? Was there like a TV or something in the presser, or was it totally out of your all's view?
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to watch it, so I was following just on my phone. So I can't tell you the last time I didn't watch that game. Probably when I was a kid, probably. So it's different. I'm obviously glad we
Still are a kid.
yeah, no. But I'm glad we beat the crap out of them because you and Terry know it's this game's pretty big for people, for Cats fans who are from Louisville, because we get to brag for the entire year, and it'd be awful to hear him chirp for a year if we had lost. I'm just glad I was going to the game. I was kind of worried that Cal might pump on the brakes since he was playing against
Kenny.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they kept at it. I think they're up by 27 at one point, which, like I said, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Third.
To have Kenny Payne back, and just obviously Kenny and Cal are just thick as thieves. They're so tight, and there's a lot of love there. I mean, yeah, definitely good to see him back. AT, the Cards game.
Oh, it's always a must win. We got to beat Louisville every year, and especially this year because Louisville is putrid. Like, they are bad. Like, they came in the game 2-11. They are like 256 in Ken Baum, man. They're good. They're terrible at everything.
But
So,
we had to make us, and it couldn't be. It wouldn't beating them is one thing, but a lot of BBN would have lost their minds if this game was under. It was a less than a 10-point win.
I agree. We were hoping 20-25 at one point.
Yeah.
I was thinking 30 because we were handling business pretty well. A few substitutions here and there. You know how it is at the end of the game. You lose a few points here and there, but overall we controlled the game well, and it was definitely nice to see Jacob Toppin come back and have a good game. He needed it. I think a lot of BBN's been hard on him. I'm big on the kid. He's got all the different skills you'd ever want. He's got great physical ability. He had a great game. He was a difference maker, and I'm happy to get another win against Louisville, which, like TB said, it's kind of an annual affair. We just kind of get it done every year.
Yeah, definitely. Carrie, I know it's not football, but it's still Louisville.
It is, and I half-assed watched it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The UK football game was on the big TV. The small tailgate TV that we have had the Sugar Bowl on it, and the basketball game was relegated to the laptop, and it wasn't even turned kind of towards me. Wow. I just kept asking what the score was.
Option 3 in your...
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's. I mean, I was a little nervous just based on how we played prior to going into this game. But yeah, Louisville's just terrible. They're really, 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 really bad at basketball right now. So yeah, it was a good win. It's always good to beat Louisville. But like I said, I saw where Toppin, it seemed like he had a really good game, and that's good. That's great, and I hope he continues that. But yeah, in terms of like watching it and really paying attention,
that's fair. I got it. Terry, staying with the basketball game, again, the narrative has been this past week was just the fan base. Go ahead.
After the game, Cal, Oscar, and Jacob Toppin talked about what's going on.
Go ahead.
And here I get it. Sports make us do crazy things, right? But you all know mental health is near and dear to my heart. Absolutely. And we can talk about mental health and being kind to each other. And if a celebrity dies or a family member dies, we can post up the suicide hotline and we can say, if you need help, reach out. But the number one thing we can do is just not be assholes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be that way. I don't care that people booed back in the 50s and 60s. I don't care. We don't have to do that. because y'all know, if you follow me on Twitter, I like to do the pictures of Kentucky basketball players side by side, and it's so-and-so and so-and-so's day. It's dumb to do. It's a little something. I did it for Ty and somebody. Did not tag the players, just names and a photo. Now look down, and I think it was Severe and Ty had both retweeted it. It had made its way to them. My point to that is these kids see stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are still human.
They're kids, yeah,
and they're kids,
yeah.
And I get it. We're passionate, and that's what's made the program great. You just don't have to be an asshole out here with these kids. You just don't have to. I used to be tough guy like that. I'd be on Twitter. You've ruined my day, you basketball player. And then I got to cover a game at Rupp Arena. It was 2014 season. Kentucky loses in overtime to Arkansas. And it's, coaches do their thing. Players come out. Julius Randle. And, he had that spin move and he would lose the ball a little bit. And I'm ready to come at him. And then it hits me. He's just a big kid. And you see them after the game with their families and you're like, they're just kids. Like, again, I get it. We're all passionate. Watching my team lose doesn't bring me any joy. I like to watch my team win. But you have to be able to have that disconnect. They're still humans. Mm-hmm. And you can say somebody went 0 for 10 without going to a negative place with it. So I was really encouraged, although I do think it's going to fall on deaf ears because being negative, is going to move the needle more. But I was glad they talked about it openly because I think somebody else needs to hear that. Hey, Jacob Toppin had a rough time. He talked it out. He talked about talking to a therapist. He turned it around and had a great game. That's the message that we need to put out, not Wildcat Fan 69 being an asshole.
Mental health is, in my family is very important too. Shit that I went through this past year is like, yeah. And when I heard that, I mean, that just kind of just was like a dagger in my heart for a moment. It's like, really? Why? Why does it have to come to that? And here's my thing too. We have our friends, we've got our, friends and people that we talk to, we've had on the show, and we all interact with the radio show of BBN. And when you got them, I mean, honestly, I haven't listened to that show in years. And I get the feedback, but they put this, their message these days has just been so fucking negative, and just clearly making or attacking players, specifically calling out players, and their little frenzy, their fan base. I don't want to go too far, as almost like a MAGA thing, but what I'm saying is that it feeds into it. And it's alarming.
But it's not just our fans. Like there's that picture circling Louisville Twitter that after the game, Kenny Payne goes to hug Cal. They smile. They exchange some words.
Their fan base was losing their mind too over that.
Like, what do you want people to do?
Yes.
To me, it's more of emotional intelligence. If you lose, if you're disappointed, you still keep your fucking head.
Right.
That to me is an adult thing. Freaking out like Bobby Knight, what are we doing, right? Like this whole thing about Jacob Toppin's body language. Body language is bullshit. You can't admit it. Like that's like just because you watch Dateline NBC and they said I knew the husband was guilty because he didn't. It's crap. People do things differently. You cannot look at because how somebody else reacts. You don't know. I'll tell you something. My dad died. I'm at the funeral home talking to my mom. We're talking some stories. The two of us are laughing. Now, if you walk in and you see that, you'd say, what the fuck is wrong with Terry and his mom? Because you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of it. Aaron Harrison had the same facial expression all the way through the season. Good, bad, or whatever. And They dogged that guy. They dogged him until he hit those 3 shots. Now he's a stone cold killer, making the same face. So it's all bullshit. People just want to be miserable. I'm sorry. I need to back down a little bit. But it gets me because these kids are going through it. Like they're still humans. They don't stop being human when they're dribbling a basketball, throwing a football, whatever it is. They're people.
Yeah. And I know how passionate our fan base is. There's a lot of delusion in our fan base as well. And I still struggle with the fact that there are adults who live vicariously through 18-year-old kids who literally their performance, positive, negative, is predicated on how they're going to spend the next few days of their lives. It's I don't know. I'm a fan. I'm not anywhere near being a fanatic. I've said it. Last time I potentially lost sleep was when Leitner put that dagger in us, and I haven't since. It's not worth it. Anything to add as far as anybody else?
I do apologize for
no.
being
Don't
a little animated.
don't ever say you're sorry.
That mental health and it's the same people that if you need and they're dogging these kids. You can't have it both ways.
Well, again, too, and I'll throw this. I'll say this, Corey. I'll let you jump in here. The media too has been kind of brutal on Cal. The national media. Who was it? The Atlantic. Dana O'Neill. Is John Calipari now the Jimbo Fisher of college basketball?
She just waiting to write that, man.
But you knew that was coming.
Yeah,
because
I'm the messenger here. That's
yeah,
all.
but Cal had to make his bed and lie in it, and then Pat Forty had to eat crow when they're in the national title game. So people are going to take their shots, and I think Cal is a little. I mean, he's older. He's a man, right? So I think he's a little bit able to handle it a little bit better. But these they're kids, man.
Anything else,
Sorry.
Corey? Anything you want to add to that? Or
Terry spoke about it as well as any others could. So yeah.
Okay. Arizona Terry.
No, I think we've covered it pretty well. We whooped Louisville's ass.
At the end of the day,
Jacob Toppin is doing good. I hope he continues doing well in every aspect of his life, not just in basketball. But no, people sometimes get like I stay off of Twitter pretty much post game. We've had some tough losses this year because I just need to take a break from it. 24 hours off of it is good for you. Plus, some people go nuts, and it's just not healthy. So that's the way I kind of deal with it.
Carrie, final thought on that.
Here's a fun fact: Twitter ain't real life. It's not. No. It really isn't. I refuse to post about basketball on there. I don't. I'm not getting into it with people I don't know. I don't have time for that. And that negativity gets in your brain, man. Whether you can say, "Oh, it doesn't bother me," it gets in the back of there and it stays. And it's really hard to get rid of. And it's just a lot easier to be like, "Nah, I'm out." Although I will admit that I do find it just a little bit entertaining in kind of a sadistic way to go on there and see the meltdown. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you, Carrie. I've tried to do better about not engaging because people aren't coming from a good place. I have to remind myself, whatever it is, sports, politics, whatever, most people on the internet are not engaging in good faith. So it's not even worth your time to go down that road. When people are saying Cal's only had one elite team since he's been here, that's just not true.
Yeah.
Like, the program is worse because he was here. That's really, it's not true, but people believe it. So, if I say 2 + 2 is 4 and you say it's purple, okay, good for you. I'm going to go on where the rest of it's just not worth it.
You don't want to have one more line. No, motherfucker, it's 4.
No, I used to.
Yeah,
I used to go on those Twitter threads when I was pooping. I'd sit there and have those long threads.
Everyone right now for the next 3 seconds, visualize, including the chat, visualize Terry pooping while he's texting.
So if you ever been like, why is TB doing that? Yeah, I'm just sitting here pooping. I got nothing else to go on.
The wife, the seat's warm. The seat's warm. Thanks, Dad. The seat's warm. All right, let's college football playoff. This pre-show, I was saying best semifinal games ever.
Yeah,
Carrie, I'll start with you. You have sung the praises of TCU all year, all football season, and now there's no reason why Sonny Dykes shouldn't win every Coach of the Year award either. But your impressions of the games from?
I mean, who has two thumbs and has been on the Hypnotoads all season? Yeah, me for sure, absolutely. I mean, if you listen to any of my shows all season long, pick TCU after TCU after TCU. They went from unranked to being in the national championship game. And all these pundits got on the television yesterday morning and ran their mouth about how TCU's going to get bullied. Michigan's line's going to bully them. And I'm sitting there talking back to the TV going, no, they're not, because TCU can score points very quickly and very fast. And their defense is also pretty darn good. They game planned the hell out of that game. Their game plan was to stop Michigan's run, which I felt like that they did pretty well. And then they just had some plays. Max Duggan, man, that kid, beast. He is a beast of a quarterback. He can use his legs. He can use his arm. And, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Michigan, I didn't think Michigan had a chance.
I was calling him Max Duggan as well. It's actually Duggan because yeah. Max Duggan is from a movie. It's a movie character. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Do you know that it was an 80s, like an 80s movie, The Return of Max?
Yeah. But yeah, TCU did exactly what I thought TCU would do. I might in the back of my mind thought that Michigan may have had just a slight edge. I didn't think it was going to be the bloodbath that the pundits thought it was going to be on the Michigan side. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And I'm happy going into the national championship game because to me, it's a win-win. TCU wins, I'm good. If Georgia wins, I'm good. There's no Big Ten teams in there. I'm good.
All right. Well, before we talk Georgia, let's stay with the TCU Michigan State game or Michigan game. Sorry, Corey, you did get to watch it?
No, I was
still being crazy in Nashville.
Yeah, well, I'm all crazy, but the post game and just driving back home, I unfortunately couldn't see any of it. But once again, I was following the score. I think TCU was up pretty big at first, and Michigan came back. Just the offense. I mean, if you love offense, I mean, I don't know how you can hate that game. I mean, they combined for 1,000 yards of offense and 96 points. I mean,
I loved it.
Well, and Kevin, real quick, and just one more thing about TCU. That game was perfect. It was tailor-made for them because they got ahead, but then Michigan started to come back. And if you watch TCU all season, that's what they love. There is no fear for a team to start coming back. They're a second half team anyway, but they absolutely love when that pressure starts to get put on them. They just keep responding.
I'm curious to know, Terry, when you're pooping and tweeting, is there a grunt emoji? Or did he?
Ew.
No. Sorry.
Oh no, I think he froze out.
I didn't freeze. What was the question?
Oh, he was pooping or something.
That was a good Terry.
Let's move on. Grunt emoji. Terry, Arizona Terry.
Yes, sir.
You're TCU. Well, you're sporting the shirt. So.
Dude, I've been on board. I've loved this team all season. Very resilient.
So two people on the show have loved them.
Yeah, I like the Cinderella stories. I like these kind of teams. I'm a big Sonny Dykes guy.
Not rated to
they were
championship game.
Preseason ranked in the Big 12 7th. They were people just thought they were trash. Now,
weren't they 4-7 last year, something like that? or a year ago?
No, they had a winning record last year.
Was
They
it last-
were decent last year
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Because it wasn't that far off. They were kind of not great, but sorry.
No,
Arizona,
they were
Oh,
pretty
that's
good
okay.
last year.
No, I thought their defense was up for the task. We saw that defense show itself with J.J. McCarthy, right? 2 pick six, pretty amazing. They had a great quarterback. He didn't have a great stat day, but just made some really key plays at certain times, extended some drives. Kid's hard nosed. He's from Iowa, I believe. TB.
He is Cedar
Yeah.
Falls, Cedar Rapids, one of those. Yeah.
Council Bluffs, one of those towns.
Oh,
right there.
Council Bluffs.
It's
That's
Council
what
Bluffs.
it is.
Yeah.
That's right there on the
that's
border.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, Sonny Dykes. I like Sonny Dykes. His dad was a pretty prominent football coach. He actually coached high school football in Lubbock and at Texas Tech for many, many years. So he's got that heritage, right?
Spike
And,
takes.
Yeah, and he was in the mix for our head coaching job at one point, I think at Kentucky. And then
He
we kind
was.
of targeted on Stoops. So no, I'm so happy they won. I'm not Ohio State guy. I'll just say that. So it was nice to see them win, and I think that it's going to make a nice championship game versus Georgia.
I
Yeah.
agree. And here's
Michigan's got a Harbaugh problem.
yeah, Broncos, right?
Well, I'm just saying, Jim Harbaugh, I've watched him. He coached my 49ers.
Yeah.
Big games, he gives you a couple of decisions that I think impacts the team, where it's just like, what are we doing? And I think
Why are you running Philly?
he has this mindset. He gets a little too intense,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's always a decision where you're like, what are we doing? And I think it just impacts the team. Like I said, he coached 49ers for years, saw it in a Super Bowl, in NFC Championship games. He can get you there. I just don't know if he can seal the deal.
Well, I did hear tonight the Broncos have reached out to Harbaugh about their coaching vacancy, so stay tuned there. Corey Price, I don't know if you heard this. Well, I'm gonna throw it out. Corey, you get the first take. I know you're listening to or trying to watch or get the info on it. I guess you're way back or on your way back, but there was that play where Michigan apparently we thought was a touchdown, and then they ruled it. They overturned it and spotted the ball at the 1 or half yard line or whatever, and then the next play they fumble it to TCU. Now, the Michigan fan base are losing their minds because they feel like they got jobbed out of potentially. I mean, that was a touchdown if you do the math, and there's then the Michigan would have more points than TCU. So what was anything to talk about or discuss about that play? Because weren't they SEC officials, right, for that game? Yeah. So
Poop happens. I mean,
poop happens.
Every fan of every team, college or pro, there's always that one call that you're just like, it was a bad call, but it happens.
Anybody else? Corey, Mr. Stat Guy.
I actually haven't seen the play, so I don't know.
It was close. I mean, I think everyone would have agreed watching it live at that moment. It looked like a touchdown, but when you do slow it down, I just didn't know if it was enough to overturn, but they did overturn it. So, okay, TCU, great Cinderella story. Not ranked to, I think someone said mid card in Big 10 or Big 12 preseason. Great story, and they are in the championship game against Georgia, who is the Ohio State kick. The missed kick was at right when the
Yes,
ball
it
dropped.
was. And it was the best ball drop I have ever seen in my whole entire life. It was the greatest New Year's ball drop ever.
Yeah.
You all follow that Bubba Prague? Have you seen that where he had it synced up with the ball drop on ABC?
I got to
No.
see that.
I
The
haven't
call, but he's got the radio call of Ohio State, the radio
no.
call of Georgia, all synced up. It is great. It is
Oh,
great.
man, I gotta find
I
that,
will
yeah.
find it and retweet. It is fantastic. But go ahead.
Well, I was also last night during that game. I don't know if you all were watching it. You know, these games were on ESPN with who was it? Herbie and Chris Fowler, the play-by-play. But also on one of the channels was Pat McAfee and his group.
Yeah.
And I was switching back and forth. Now I happened to be watching Gary McAfee win you got to go back and look at how he played this. I mean, he just synced it up that this is going to make or break this Ohio State kid, this kicker's life from this point on. And the way he did it, I kind of feel bad for him, but what a great game though, Carrie.
Yeah, it was. Did you say Carrie or Terry?
With
what
the
did
C.
you say?
With the C.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Apologies, Carrie Lewis.
Oh yeah, you're fine. No, wow, it was fabulous. And you know what? There were so many times that I almost gave up, and I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay." Georgia looked like garbage for 3 quarters. Tiny Cowboy Hat played terrible. Their defense was not great. But Ohio State just kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter a little bit. They only scored 3 points to Georgia's 16, and I know that again there were some questionable calls. The no targeting call. The Ohio State's best tight end went out in like the second quarter with a back injury, and but Georgia somehow, some way managed to pull it off.
The Stetson Bennett the fourth, his lore continues. Arizona Terry, your take on the Georgia Ohio State game?
I thought Georgia was cooked. Man, they were down 14, and Ohio State looked great. And Stroud was awesome for Ohio State. 348 yards passing, looked awesome. I just thought, well, it's going to be Ohio State and TCU in the championship game. And then, like Carrie was saying, they just kind of fell apart in the fourth quarter. And then Bennett had that drive, and just looked really awesome. And it was a killer game. I mean, both of these games were outstanding to watch. And it sucks when a team has to lose a game like that too. It really does. So now I'm looking forward to the championship game.
Well, and the play of the game may have been the the Kirby Smart, right? Although Mark Richt, I heard, did get a standing ovation. I think he was there, maybe, and he got a standing ovation by the Georgia fans, which was pretty cool. But the Kirby Smart timeout that saved that fake punt, that to me was definitely probably play of the game.
That was definitely it for sure.
Corey Price losing
in the CFP.
The CFP. Corey, where were you at? Were you in Louisville when this game was on at this point?
Yeah, and I actually missed the ball being dropped because I didn't want to change the channel. When early in the fourth, when Georgia was down 14 and they had to settle for a field goal to go down 11, that's when I thought, okay, it's over. I felt like they had to score a touchdown then and there, but Georgia hung tough, and you could say what you want about Stetson, but he knows how to win. Playing
Absolutely. Don't care how old he is. What is he, like 25?
25.
He played with Hines Ward.
Hines Ward. Here, let me share this stat real quick. Share. See if the playoffs, the semifinal records: SEC 10-1, Big Ten 2-6.
Is that good?
Not really. I don't think. Corey, you're the stat guy. Would you thumbs up or down on that?
Thumbs up to 10-1 and thumbs down to 2-6.
This is what I say in Big Ten country, where I am right now. Big Ten, Big 12.
Good.
If you are tired of the SEC, beat them. That's all you have to do. It's not about scheduling. It's about when Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, even when they show up, beat them. That's all you have to do.
Well, here's the thing.
If you go back to 1998,
just to say you're going to be there. So just show up and beat them.
Go back to 1998 when we started doing the BCS and all that kind of stuff. Because everybody's like, it's just Alabama. No. We've had, 7 schools play for a championship, 6 win? like all you have to do is beat them. If Alabama's schedule is so soft, just beat them. If Georgia's so soft, just beat them. That's all you have to do, and then SEC will go away.
Yep, it is.
Seems pretty simple to me.
Pretty
Facts.
simple.
I mean, we have to hear how good the ACC is in basketball every year, right? We have to hear ACC, and it's just Duke, Carolina, and Virginia. Man, all them teams ain't good.
Right. And then speaking of ACC, their football champion, got their asses kicked by I guess in theory the third best team in the SEC, based on arguably the second, but yeah. Okay. Real quick before we get, we got two more topics and then we'll shut it down and we'll be quick. I've got Terry. Terry Brown. Give you the table first because you are the voice. But we have some Louisville friends. We all do. But one of mine was just ragging me about after Kentucky football got beat. I want you to respond to this comment. Louisville football had a better season than Kentucky football because they went 8-5 and Kentucky went 7-6. Now, never mind that we won the head-to-head, and that arguably we play in a tougher conference.
Right.
But how do you respond to that comment?
Hypothetically, if they met on the field and played, that is generally how you determine what team is a better team. Now, Corey, I'm going to ask you because you're the numbers guy. Did Kentucky and Louisville play football this year?
Yes, they did.
And at the end of that contest, did Kentucky tally more points than the Louisville football team?
13 more points, yeah.
And as you understand the rules of football, the team with the most points at the end of the contest is generally deemed the winner. Is that accurate?
I think 100% of the time, yes.
All right. So summarizing what Corey said, I would tell him scoreboard. I don't give a shit. Like, well, we had 8 wins. I don't like. Who cares? Like, what are you talking about? You play in the crappiest conference. Like, what are you doing? Get out of my face.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Few minutes, and Carrie, we're gonna be very close here. New Year's resolutions. Do you all do those? Do you still do them?
I do.
Know. Do you? All right. Who does? Who does that? Raise your hand. Okay. Well, it looks like the Terrys, so they get to speak up. Give me what would be a BBN resolution, Arizona Terry?
Just be more positive. Like, just don't be so negative. I mean, we all hate to lose, but it's in the world. It's a ball game. Got a lot of basketball games ahead. Just don't be so negative about this basketball season. I mean, I'm looking through the stats, and people act like we've got this shitty team. We don't have a shitty team. We have the best rebounder in college basketball. We shoot the three pretty well. We have one of the top point guards, and they hate on Wheeler. Some people do. 6.5 assists a game, 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That's elite. And we got Case and Wallace. So, yeah, we have some issues at the 3 and the 4. We have some guys that aren't shooting the ball well, but we got a lot of positive stuff. And people just need to be more positive. Like, just give Cal a little more time. Some teams need a little more time to kind of get better. Just be more positive.
I mean, we still got
a lot of good games.
A lot more games left. Two full months of games before conference play. Terry Brown, what would you give? Would be your resolution to BBN for BBN?
Stop lying.
That's it. Just stop lying.
I mean, like I said, just be truthful. Like, we're all disappointed, but you ain't got to lie. Like, I got people on my Facebook, and I've been a fan for 50 years, and I've never felt this low about Kentucky basketball. So when the Kentucky Shame Sports Illustrated cover came out, that wasn't your low point. This is your low point.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Thank you. Yeah.
This is your low point.
Yeah. 1989 was pretty low. I was a senior in high school.
This sad.
I was 4 years out of high school.
But come on, man. You ain't got a lot. Like, again, I tell people, I encourage people, go to bigbluehistory.net, pick a random season, not a championship, just a random season. And you'll see random games where we barely beat Ole Miss. Sometimes it just happens. We don't win every game by 20 points. Stop lying. That's never been the case. You can't lie about stuff that's quantifiable.
Embellish. I mean, yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
Jay says real quick, my resolution is to be more of an asshole to Kentucky sports media for their shitty articles.
Don't do it, or you might get a phone call.
I don't know. From the outside looking in, I'm like, Jay, do it. I just want to watch. I'll pop the popcorn. All right. So final shots. Carrie, did my best to stay close to 10, but I think we're close enough. Terry Brown, bring it. Final shot, sir.
Final shots, baby.
San Fran.
Are
you on the Purdy bandwagon?
Huh?
You on the Purdy bandwagon?
Yeah, why not? But yeah, I got this for Christmas, brand new George Kittle jersey, Iowa boy. I got some good Kentucky stuff.
I was gonna say, how many?
Stuff?
Without how many sports paraphernalia stuff did you get for Christmas?
I got
ballpark.
Well, I didn't get a lot. I got my fancy driving Kentucky loafers.
Those are nice.
Got those, and I got the Nike Kentucky Dunks.
Nice.
And I got my George Kittle jersey. So yeah, go Pack, go, man. Okay,
they won big today.
Yeah, they doing all that just so they can lose to San Francisco in the playoffs for the 5th time. Did y'all know that? Corey Price, here's a record for you. Only one quarterback in the history of NFL has lost to the same team in the playoffs 4 times without beating them. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's 0-4 against the San Francisco 49ers. So, whatever, man. But I love y'all. Okay, Niner Mike.
Look at that.
That's what they're saying.
If you read that out loud, we might get a bot.
I'm not reading that out loud, but I'm done.
Good God. All right, Corey Price, give me your final shot,
sir. Not sports related.
Sure.
Ted Beam was the principal at Mel High School, the school I went to. Two different stints for 17 years.
Saw that.
From 79 to 92 and 2009 to 2013. He was pretty big amongst our school, and he passed away yesterday. So unfortunately, he was not principal when I was there, but I heard a lot about him, and it was pretty awesome. Mel was not the Mel that I know of in the late last decade, and he was kind enough to come back and be a principal for like 4 years when he was, I think, in his 80s or at least late 70s to help out a little bit. So thoughts to his family.
Yeah, heard nothing but good things about Ted. So good stuff. AT, Arizona Terry, final shot, sir.
I just want to talk about Oscar and his remarks about Cal and about positivity. I'm like,
I wanted to bring that up, but I'm glad you're doing it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oscar literally gave direct feedback to essentially his boss, right? Nobody does that, right? You don't tell your boss typically. They give you feedback. Sometimes it's negative or positive, but that takes a lot. He's definitely confident, and I appreciate him doing that. And I think he's right too. Cal needs to be more positive, and certain players do need to be treated differently. We all know that in the working world as well. If you've managed people, some people are just different. You got to adapt to people. So props to Oscar for giving direct feedback, because feedback is a gift.
Oscar Tshiebwe will go down in UK history as one of the most loved players when it's all said and done. Love that guy. We got Carrie. Final shot.
I have watched just about every single bowl game that has been on the TV.
I know. We've texted almost during every single game.
I have spent nothing but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday watching college football. I'm not even kidding. From noon till whenever. And you will never, and after these 2 semifinal games that we just witnessed, you will never not convince me ever, as long as I live, that college football is not the greatest sport on this planet.
It's hard to argue. I'll take that over pro any day.
All day long.
all day long. I gotta do a quick final shot, and this is just to reiterate how Coach Cal is special to this program. He's an ambassador. All this shit that he does, that's the wrong word. All the good things that he does when the state is in need of something, he's the first guy to step up, and he uses the program, he uses the brand to make positive out of any negative situation. And this past week, Tyler Eulis joined the staff, and people who say they know Kentucky sports know the shit that Tyler Eulis has gone through recently. But not more importantly, but also just how important he was to the program. Again, pump the brakes when it comes to this Cal negativity. This guy is a player's first. He has said it from the get-go that he is a player's first coach, always looking out for his players. And everything just will happen for the betterment of the program from that point on. But he takes care of his own, and I have total respect for that. We've still got this class that's coming in next year. I mean, there's still magic left in Cal's bottle, and we've got some good days, good seasons left. So people, as we've kind of alluded to tonight, calm the fuck down. 2023 resolution: be more positive, passionate, compassionate to each other. Don't take it so serious. Real quick, JA's 20 college basketball coaches have won 755 games or more. Only 20. Cal's one of them. Calm the fuck down. Exactly. Cheers. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Jay.
Yeah,
guys.
That's the thing. I mean, take a step back. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, I was watching the Louisville game. Jay Wright, who's a great coach, just the stuff that he was. You've got I don't know. Is he Hall of Fame? I don't know if he's Hall of Fame yet, but he's probably going to be if he isn't.
Yeah, I think
just everything he was saying to reiterate, calm down, people. It's a process. Cal's going to figure it out. I trust in those guys. All right, Carrie, 10:09. So for Terry Brown, Corey Price, Arizona Terry, AT, thanks. B, you got snow coming, so hope you guys are okay out there. Carrie Lewis, in your news, we didn't get to talk X-Files. We were going to say something. We'll save that. We got plenty of time. It's 30 years, so.
Yeah, you gotta watch your liver. That's what I'll say.
Liver. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you guys always hanging out with us on the Sunday nights.
Especially Niner Mike.
Niner Mike, yeah. Why? Because he's a Niner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you. All right. Round of Shots. This audio will be dropping early in the week. Appreciate everyone again hanging out with us. Round of Shots. Wishing everyone a good Sunday night and a great week. Go Cats. See you next Sunday. Peace out. Later.